Heat wave here on the Q96.5 FM. Good morning, everybody. Open up the doors to the Dome on a Monday, and right away today, man, we have work ahead of us. You know, you have some of those weeks where you come in and you just kick back and you play a little music and you stretch and you commiserate over all the sore muscles you got from all the work you did over the weekend. And then there's other days when you get to have a guest right here, and if you're going to have a guest, you might as well have a guy like Brad Gear. Good morning, Brad. Good having you in here with us here today. Talk to me a little bit here for just a second. Yeah, Monday a good day for Brad Gears?
Every day is a great day.
Every day, here we go.
Be here.
Yeah.
Been loving this weather in Northwest Ohio, and it went from a little warm to a little wet. We needed the rain, so welcoming every bit of that. Just bringing some news to you from Northwest State Community College and some of the stuff we've got going on there that we'd like to share with you.
Yeah, that's good to have you here. And we always like talking about Northwest State Community College because that's one of our favorites. Brad Gear, internship coordinator at the PLA. Give me that one again because I can't remember what PLA wrote.
Right. PLA is prior learning assessment.
Yeah.
And what we do, so that targets our incumbent workers. We've got such a talented workforce here in Northwest Ohio. We have got specialists. We are really known across the world for the talent that we have in our workforce. And we've worked very hard at Northwest State to be able to give our workers college credit for what they do every day at work. We've got business administrators, welders, engineers out there doing the job every day. So when they come to us, we can use this PLA as a tool to give them college credit for what they've been doing every day for years and years.
Wow, that's amazing. So equate that to me. I come in and I have this experience. Does that get me a quarter ahead? Does it get me a year ahead? How do you determine something like that?
Well, it's a conversation. It's going to be individual. So it could save as much as a year off your associate's degree, depending on your experience. It could save you one or two classes. Which is an extra $1,000 in your pocket.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
It's time, it's money, and you've already done the work. You've already learned the skill. Just let us give you credit for it.
You know what? That's a great program because I don't know how many times I've had conversations or heard this being an older guy. About all the experience I have, and I get no credit for it whatsoever. Doggone it. I'm right back to square one, especially in an instance like you're talking about oftentimes where somebody loses a job or is looking for a different job and trying to change fields from over here to over there.
Right. So many of our students are just trying to skill up. They're trying to get ahead in their career. They're not looking for a major life change. They're just looking to get ahead and be a little bit further ahead. And we really work with them very individual basis. That's one of the things Northwest State's always been known for. We've got class sizes of 6, 10, 15 students, and a very one-on-one relationship with your instructors, with your faculty, and we can help tweak and help adjust your specific education to meet your goals, your needs, and your experience.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you work quite a bit with area manufacturers and everything every day to do exactly that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Since, we've got a new president on board now, Dr. Thompson. He's a great guy. He's really empowered us to reach out, get to know our local economy, and really serve the needs of our local economy. So as a result, in the last couple of months, I've been face-to-face with probably 100 employers and finding out exactly what they need from our graduates. And I'm able to take that, feed that back into our faculty, and we're able to match our graduates up, match our students up with what our local economy needs.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I think that's exactly what a Northwest State Community College is all about, or any facility like that. A local community college is really their place in today's world is trying to help folks, fit into a different spot here and there.
Oh, definitely. We work very hard with, we partner with the University of Toledo, Miami University, BGSU, Ohio State. We make sure all of our classes transfer very seamlessly to a bachelor's degree, but that bachelor's degree isn't for everybody, and it's not necessarily what our economy needs right now. What our economy needs are skilled workers who can go out and do the engineering, the industrial, the business management. And, our economy needs somebody who can do it today.
Yeah.
And that's what Northwest State is doing. We're just matching up your talents with what our economy needs.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how many. We have Mary Leatherman who will be here tomorrow from Elwood Staffing. Okay.
Yes.
and she works with a number of the manufacturers around our area. And every week she comes in and says, we need this and we need this and we're looking for that. And I got 100 openings. I get 75 openings. I got 120 openings. You know, it's mind-boggling the number of positions that are open now in Northwest Ohio.
Yeah, and what we've been talking with our manufacturers about, they've got a lot of entry level or production positions or positions that you wouldn't necessarily go to college for.
Sure.
But they're able to partner with us, and we're able to take that production, that entry level position, make it into a learning opportunity, make that entry level position a stepping stone for your career. That's not the end of the line for you. When you get in with our manufacturers, you're on the production line, you're doing whatever job you do every day. It's possible to learn the entire business from that position.
Yeah.
And we work with our students, especially our interns, to keep your head up while you're at work, to learn everything you can about what's going on. And we look at ways then that we can give you college credit for picking up that information.
Yeah, and you know what? Those are the guys that we're looking for, guys or gals. I mean, it's not only a guy's world anymore.
Oh, definitely not.
You know, the ladies we've got a racing show that we do every week, and today Jay Trissell's coming in from AJ Door, and he and his daughter share a love for drag racing. Okay. Now, Dad's a great drag racer and a wonderful racer and a wonderful guy, but he's never really won a race. Daughter, who's now about 20 years old, 21 years old, okay, won her first one the other day. Okay, so this has become a world where the young ladies of the world are quite capable of doing anything that you want them to do. And have you seen an uptick on the
Oh, we sure have.
Yeah.
The percentage-wise, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but we're the second community college in the state to have our own chapter for the Society of Women Engineers.
Yeah.
Some of the most brilliant minds gathered together. We've got about 25 members in our Society of Women Engineers, and there's so much talent, so much potential just in that one group. Every one of those members have reached out. They've connected with industry. They've got a very direct path they're going on. Really, just an incredible force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Hey, Brad Gear is my guest right now. We're talking about all the great opportunities that are going on over at Northwest State. We need to play a few classic hits and pay some bills as we go. But Brad's going to be with me for most of this hour here. Back into the classic hits on the Q, 96.5 FM. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been working on my deck all weekend, man. I'm stiff, I'm sore.
talent, we need people, we need bodies. Northwest State Community College, we've got over 4,000 students there. We've got 4,000 people there who are focused on having a positive impact on our economy, having a positive impact on their lives. It's a perfect match once we can get that communication, and that's the biggest part of my job, is just that focused, active listening. I listen to businesses, I hear what they need, I listen to my students where they want to go, and inevitably they align up.
Wow, it's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
I had to take listening when I was at college. How's that for 3 quarters? And you know what? It seemed like a stupid class at the time. But in reality, I think it's probably one of the greatest tools a person could have.
Right. Well, early in my career, I had one of the businesses tell me that they're tired of being talked to. Mm-hmm. They're a successful business. Somebody needs to listen to them. So I just sat back and I listened, and you put the pieces together, and we find out what they need, and we find out what we have to offer. Maybe we're missing the mark. We have in a couple situations. We've been able to tweak our curriculum, specialize it a little bit more to what our region needs, and still keep our transfer ability.
That's amazing. Give me a case study. Give me one that we can hang our hat on and say, you don't have to. If you want to name the business, you can. If you don't feel like you need to or should, that's fine. But give me a feel for one that you're proud of.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll name the business. I don't know if have you ever heard of the Spangler Candy Company? Some people in Bryan have heard of them, right?
I think there's been a couple of people that know who those guys are. Yeah.
A couple of years ago they came to us and they had an idea what they needed. They had an idea. They came to us and said, "Hey, we need this electrical engineer to come out and go through an apprenticeship program with us." And as a knee-jerk reaction, we sent them an electrical engineer, and things went very rocky at first. It was not a good match at first. Fortunately, we were able to listen. Spangler has got some great people that didn't just react. They stopped and listened, and we had conversations, and we were able to tweak exactly what they needed out of their employee. Yeah. We were able to align our curriculum with exactly what they needed, and it didn't fit under the traditional realm of electrical engineer. Mm-hmm. So rather than just saying, "Hey, we need an electrical engineer," now we get a full job description. This is what we expect a student to do. Spangler sends me, I've got 2 job descriptions with me right now. This is exactly what we need our employees to do. And I go back to our faculty, our instructors, our students, say, these are the skills that are needed in our economy. And we're able to match them up and get that business exactly what they need to grow with.
Oh, wow, that is amazing, because I don't think any business, with the way that things are going right now, really have enough time to train somebody. They're too busy making things happen at this point in time to even though they have new people around, it's tough.
Right, and we're finding out that they can train, they can do the very specialized details. Yeah. Nobody can do that better than our local businesses can. But we can prepare our students to be valuable members in the economy. So I keep saying the economy. So it's not enough just to be a great welder. Yeah. We can teach that skill. That's easy to teach. But when a company hires a great welder, they also want that person to be active in the community. They want them to be the softball coach. They want them to interact with other businesses. They want them to be able to communicate with customers. They want them to be able to manage money, understand business. The more your employees understand your business, the more they can focus on that bottom line, that profitability. And that is all part of what we can teach very well at Northwest State.
That is amazing, But it goes back, my wife and I have had this conversation a number of times, and a lot of my friends as well. Those are some of the things that we have gotten away from in the traditional education, K through 12, because our educators are forced to train these kids for tests, okay? We can't teach them some of the social skills that we used to get, that I used to get especially, because, hey, that's not on the test, on the state test, You talk about that traditional, I appreciate you being polite with K through 12, but it's K through 16. Our 4-year universities, our traditional model of education has done a great job getting us this far. But it doesn't align. It's got very specific goals, like you said, teaching to the test. Yeah. For too many years, students will take this class just for the sake of, we'll take Calculus 1 just for the sake of passing Calculus 2. Yeah.
That's a great system, but that doesn't help our local economy. So we've been able to tweak our curriculum where we're still teaching the calculus classes, we're still teaching English. We're teaching it in a way that it becomes problem solving, it becomes communication, it becomes the skills that our economy needs.
Yeah, that is amazing. Brad Gear is my guest right now from Northwest State Community College. We need to play a little music because we are a classic hit station. Brad's going to be with me, though, all the way until 10 o'clock here today. And Brad Gear, my guest here from Northwest State Community College again this morning. And Brad, it's always good to have you bounce in the door. And Mr. Bellamy needs to schedule your smiling face a little more often. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do have a face for radio. I'll give him that.
Oh, goodness, man. We have not talked about how somebody can get a hold of you right now. How's that?
Right. You know, there's a million ways to get a hold of us. Stop into college.
Yeah.
You know, I'm right inside the front door. You could stop in. We could talk about what you've got going on. Go play some ping pong. Hit the snack bar. You know, if you're high tech, go online. We've got Facebook, Twitter. We've got our website. Go to northweststate.edu, and you can search for internships. You can search for prior learning, admissions. It's all right there on our website, northweststate.edu. Or, of course, pick up the phone and give us a call.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a wonderful, wonderful situation. You have mentioned your new president, Jim Bellamy, also said the same thing. Dr. Stuckey was, man, a wonderful guy and a wonderful president.
Indeed.
And there have been one before him and one before him. You know, there have been good people there. But your thoughts about the change and how you're seeing the change now?
You know, it has been fantastic for me. When the new president, when Dr. Thompson first came in, I think he did a great job recognizing the talent that he had, and right away he put us to work and turned us loose, and looking for ways to improve our mission to serve our communities.
Yeah.
And so he right away tasked us with reaching out, with making sure everybody knows that we are indeed a first choice institution.
Yeah.
We have got so many students that come back to us after they've committed 4 years to one of the great universities, but that doesn't align with our economy. So
Yeah.
they end up coming back to us, already saddled with their college debt, already saddled with 4 years of their life spent away, and they come back to Northwest State because we have our finger on the pulse of this economy. We know what our economy needs, where our students can go to work and earn a very good living in our region.
Yeah. Tell me where those places are. What are those opportunities here in Northwest Ohio?
Well, Brian has been fantastic with Spangler and Bard, Arrow, Ingersoll Rand. The manufacturing and engineering potential in this area is fantastic. You know, we reach out into a 6-county area, so we've been doing a lot of work in Henry County lately with
Sure.
Automatic Feed, Tenneco, Custom Ag Supply. We've been working with a lot of the local area chamber of commerces and the CIC. Denise Dahl down in Henry County has done a fantastic job of making sure that we are connected. She knows that we just want to listen to the businesses and hear what they need, and she's done a great job of just getting us at the same table and getting everybody's message put out there.
Yeah, that is amazing. It is a booming area. You know, a lot of people think about moving to North Carolina or South Carolina or whatever, or wherever they want to go, whether it's because they want to get out of the cold weather in the winter. But Northwest Ohio right now has numerous opportunities for anybody.
Not only do we have those opportunities right here locally, we have a worldwide reputation
Yeah.
for being problem solvers, for being doers. You know, Tesla out in California, they needed a problem solver, they needed a doer. They ended up hiring one of our students.
I'll be done.
GM, Caterpillar, Dana, companies that are literally all across the world, come to us because our students are hands-on. They're doers, they're learners, and they want to solve a problem and make an impact.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the beauty of my job. You know, I've got the best students in the world. I've got great support from the industry, and I just put the two of them together, and it's just fantastic for me.
Well, and you're pretty good at doing that too. I got to tell you, it's always fun talking to you, and I know that your heart's in the right place and your focus is in the right place because you're doing great things here.
And, you know, it's a great team behind me. We've got a new advising center, along with our new president. We've got a new advising center,
Yeah.
which really just doubles down the commitment that we are making to our students.
Yeah.
Twice as many people for our students to go to with questions. And, you know, Cassie's been running this advising center and has done a great job working with faculty and students, making sure that when our student comes in, whatever their needs are, if they've got special needs, if they've got expectations, they've got goals, right away we work with that student to meet those goals.
Yeah. I guess the final question, and maybe the best question that I've got for you, if who's the person out there that should be contacting you? I mean, we talked about the manufacturing side, the people needing the workers, but who is that person that should be listening to this right now and saying, you know what, that Brad Gear, he's the man I need to see?
You know what? Students and employers both. Hit me up, give me a phone call, send me an email, go to our website. If you are looking to get ahead, if you're looking to better your life, if you're an employer and you would like to build your workforce, to build up your talent, northweststate.edu. That's a great place to start with the website. You can call me direct, 419-267-1218. That rings right into my cell phone, and we'll start putting the pieces together for you, whatever you need.
That's fantastic. Brad Gear is our guest. Geer, man.
Correct.
Not like the gears that go into your vehicle there, but Geer, Brad Gear. And Brad, as always, man, thank you. Keep up the good work. And I also appreciate that linoleum tip you gave me there off air.
You bet, man. You can handle it. I know you can.
Well, just don't say that I'm going to use any power tools, although the city of Bryan will be here, and they will close us down right now, Brad. How's that?
Yep. They know better.
They do know better. Brad Gear's our guest here with Northwest State, and we do appreciate Brad and all the things that he does. If you're looking for your business or for your personal own peace of mind to improve what you got going right now, or you need some people to help you do that around your business, call Brad at Northwest State Community College. He will take care of you, and also maybe even get some of your employees some credit for all the work they've done. Back into Classic Hits. It's a Monday morning here on the Q 96.5 FM.
shower in spots in the morning, followed by a couple of thunderstorms around in the afternoon, high 82. Partly sunny on Wednesday, expected.
And just after the noon news here today, as we always do on the throttle here today, brought to you by your local Napa store in Bryan, by Suburban Automotive, AJ Door, Brian Ford, Jason Dees Customs Collisions Trailer and Trailer Repair, Fast Forward Motorsports, and Brian Ford Lincoln. And today with me is one of our best friends, man, that comes in, and I made fun of him a little bit earlier today, and he heard it, and I've already paid for it here. Jay Crystal, welcome in. You brought your lovely daughter Emily with you here today.
I love you, man. I still love you, all my heart.
Well, you do. How much grief have you taken here over Emily's victory that was posted, and we all saw you celebrating and dancing and jumping around and everything else. How much heat have you taken over that?
Well, not so much.
Enough?
Not so much a bunch of heat. You know, I felt so bad that I tried to call her out so we could go heads up and try to win the $400 myself. She gave me the no.
Doesn't work that way, Emily.
No.
That's fantastic. But you know, you've been in a couple times, and you always talk about your daughter.
Yep.
And you always talk about how the two of you, how close you are, and how you go racing and all those kind of things. So it's wonderful to have her with you.
Oh yeah,
here today.
It was truly a blessing. You know, I've told her, and I've told you guys, and anybody out there that's a racer, and it don't matter what you're into or what class you run or any of that. You know, guys are just waiting for that moment, and there's guys out there that's been racing for years and never had a win.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been there. You know, you're always on the edge of just getting it, and you know, and and I told her about this class down there at Muncie. We was actually at Muncie Dragway, and told her what we wanted to do, and it's a little different class racing, and I'll let Em explain it to you a little bit too, but you know, what we was into was a 1050 index. So what that is you can't run no faster than 1050.
Okay.
And it's quarter-mile racing, but we leave on instant green. So what that means is they put the blinders up, and they cover up the 3 bulbs, and then as soon as you see a green light, you let her go, you know. And she's been as fast as I have, and it just drove me crazy, you know. And what I mean by that is, you know, on the leave. You know.
Yeah, she's quick to the start there.
Yeah, you know, and it's a natural thing, and it either comes to you or doesn't, and it takes a lot of concentration and brain power and the whole 9 yards, huh, sis?
Yeah, it does.
So, you know, and so yeah, it was, and actually she wanted to run 2 classes, so it wasn't that we had to concentrate on 1, we had to concentrate on 2, which are totally opposite directions of what we wanted to go with. So
all right, so set it up there, Emily, and we'll get your dad to get
zip
off
it.
Of you. Yeah, zip it, as he says. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that day and the 2 classes.
The whole day, it was a lot going on. I was running around pretty much kind of with my head chopped off and just trying to get everything where I want it to be, and he was kind of working on his own car, so I was kind of doing things on my own that day, which was a little hectic, and I was just like, okay, I got to do this. I got to learn somehow. But he was always just watching when I would always go up there. But I actually had my boyfriend with me. He would put me at the starting line and everything, so he was a big help that day. But yeah, I was running 2 classes, open comp and the 1050 class.
And the difference between the 2 of them, guys. Your dad was kind of starting to talk about it. That's when we shut him up. Hey, it's not your story, man. You lost that day. She won. She gets to talk now this time. Now you'll be quiet over there.
That's right. Next Shirley Moe Downing.
So tell me the difference between the 2 classes.
So with the 1050 class, like he said, they do put up the blinders, so you can't tell where the light's going to be. You just have to see it and let it go. And compared to open comp, you have to wait for the 3 yellow bulbs to go off and wait that second and then release. And I did pretty well. I got to second round. It was a close race with me and the other guy, but he did get me on the tree. But we were neck and neck, but we both broke out. But that was actually a really good race. And then when I was back at the pits, I was racing the number off, and one guy was like, uh-oh, and I was like, hey, I'm still in. And just knowing that I got on and went to final round in 1050 class, it's just like, see, I know that I can do this sport, and just knowing people kept coming up to the car and just was like amazed by it and whatnot, and kind of questioning me, and just kind of proving them and to myself that, hey, never been here. That was actually the first time I've been back to Muncie since I actually.
The Pro Mod. Yeah. About 4 years ago.
No, I've never raced at Muncie. The first time I ever went to Muncie was when I first tested with my Thunderbird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. My bad.
First time, and that was the first time going back to that track, and just it was the whole day was just oddly weird of how everything was just going the way it should, and it was, to me, it's like everything made sense each pass of what I was supposed to do, of if this happens, I need to do this and whatnot, and each round, my nerves kept getting to me more and more each round, because it's like, wow, I really have a shot at this, and
we actually left her alone, believe it or not.
Yeah,
really?
That is one.
It was driving me nuts, and because I can't leave the car alone.
No.
I got to make it go faster and do its thing, and
Yeah.
and for the folks out here listening to understand what she was kind of going through, the open comp, what we actually had to do was open comp. You have to run a certain time, and then if you get into that qualifying or you get into the show, they add a tenth to your second, or 1/10 of a second to your time.
Okay.
So we actually I had to write a different program for the car, put it in there, and that's what Emily's talking about, making sure that we didn't mess up, because I had to take the throttle halfway out, take a degree of timing out, turn two-step down. So I wrote a program for her, and I'm like, okay, let's go make a hit on this. The very first hit she made, I think you won a 687. And the car was running 677 in the 8th.
Okay.
So she was running 1/8 mile on open comp, but quarter mile on the other. And then the concentration level to switch trees and go on a 500 Pro tree, well, she's automatically fast out of the gate, so she had to concentrate to slow herself down. And then I'm sitting there prodding her like smacking a horse on the butt on the other race, to get her out of the gate, because that's all intensity. She run... That tree's like what I run. As soon as you see yellow, man, you got to go. If you see green, it's way too late.
Yeah.
But she did very well at it, and the concentration level to go back and forth, it was really cool that day, and everybody kind of went together and helped. But me and my brother, we've been together forever too, and the whole family was up there, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And my dad was up there to see this too. So, and even Grandpa was out on the starting line helping line up Emily and helping Richard, and we was. But as the night went on, me and my brother, we're just like, this is a day I wanted to see come, that I know she can run that car.
Yeah.
And that dude was so awesome. It really was. And the burnouts were good. The staging was good, and no intimidation. And that's what it takes, and I had to laugh because Sherm's wife, Angel, she was up in the stands, and she had said Emily's all double it over and her gut hurts. And
I was like, man, I'm gonna throw up. I just don't want to mess this up. I could not stop moving. I was like pacing back and forth when it was time to be final round and all this, and we sat in staging lanes for like 15 minutes, and I had my GoPro on because I was like, man, if I win this, I want to capture the moment, because I just want to live that forever. And you can see me just turning on the lights back and forth for like 15 minutes, just like making sure the car is where I want it to be and all of that. But that whole moment of getting up to the staging lane and getting ready to go, it was like a blur at first. Like, I remember just like thinking there, I'm like, wait, what am I doing for a second? And then all of a sudden I seen green. I was like, gotta let go. And it was crazy at the end, because I'm just like, oh man, is this gonna happen and whatnot? Is this gonna happen? And that split second after I passed that finish line and I saw the yellow light go off, every emotion hit, and I mean every emotion. In like 5 seconds, I was crying, screaming, laughing, just the amount of excitement. And when I got down to the end, I literally just sat there for a good like a minute or so and just realized of like, wow, I actually did this, and I proved that to myself. And the guy that I raced, I will never believe that I got lucky. He said that I got lucky, but in my mind, no.
No luck involved.
No.
Who did you race? Who were you racing that day?
I don't.
I don't know his name,
okay.
but he said he was a track champion last year, and
and nobody had beat him at all this year,
Yeah.
And we're all about sportsmen and stuff like that,
Sure.
But he did make a comment twice, and I kind of, the second one kind of riled me up a little bit, and so I proceeded to ask him if he wanted to go up and run for double or nothing, and he proceeded not to take the request. But it's all in fun, and but it was the self level of confidence, and that's kind of like when I told you we went back to Bowling Green. Okay. When we got in the finals, yes, I didn't win, but when you're making it to the finals and you're against the best of the best, well, guess what? Emily was against the best of the best.
Heck yeah.
And that just gives you that stride to keep going. And like I told her, and me and my brothers explained, it's like a freight train. Once you capture that win, now it's mindset.
Right.
It's hard to turn around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now then that's what I told her. I said, now instead of struggling, now you have the confidence of doing of what the job needs to be done when we strap into these things, you know.
Yeah.
And very happy with the way she controlled the car, straight as an arrow. If you watch the video, she hits her shift point on the money.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about the GoPro, because I can't ride with her, so that's my cheat sheet if she's fibbing.
No doubt. Yeah, that works extremely well. Tell me a little bit about your car.
It's an 84 Thunderbird. It's a 393 small block. She runs 1050s. She's been a good car, but past couple seasons we were struggling to kind of figure out things of what's happening and off the starting line. It was just, she was bouncing all over the place, and it's like, I don't know what's going on, and that was the frustrating part.
Yeah.
I was really starting to lose faith in myself. It's like, man, am I ever going to catch a break? And like Dad said, a lot of guys do this for many years, and not knowing if they'll ever get that win, but that night I really needed it, knowing that I can be a good drag racer, and I'm going to prove that from now on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dad, how much do you two get together and prep her car for the race?
Well, just like before we leave, we've got to go through her whole car like I treat mine.
Yeah.
I do. We got to go through every nut, bolt, check everything, and we was still kind of in a mad thrash with my car versus her car, and with a two-car team like that, it's a lot, and it's a lot on me, and obviously we was kind of struggling, and because I found a bunch more horsepower that really nipped me in the butt, and it didn't help me out any. We had to take a bunch out, and and that's why I told her, I'm like, Em, you're gonna have to run this. I said, I'll do anything I can to help you. I'll be up there and do my thing. But once she started going some rounds and seeing the motions, but what we put on Friday night, like 6 hits Friday night.
Ooh, we did quite a bit.
That Thunderbird got it got hammered, man. I mean, it got a workout, boy. So, both cars, I don't care if it's a 13-second car or, a thing like I got. You got to treat it with all due respect, you know.
Oh, no doubt.
We're there to have fun. We're there to have a good time, and you don't want nobody getting hurt, and let alone you don't want to hurt the other guy in the lane, and so it was cool, huh, Mose?
It was really cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. So
I don't know if you can see their faces right now. I don't know who's more proud of that win, honestly. Okay? Now, Emily ought to be proud because honestly, she's the one that won and drove the car.
Yep.
But Dad kind of liked that night.
Oh yeah.
Did he? Huh?
Yeah.
There was a little enjoyment on Dad's face.
I wanted to chase her down the track. I think if you watch a video, boy,
I'm
taking off running. My hands are in the air, and then all of a sudden they come back down over my head, and I'm like, oh, please just turn it on. And then I heard somebody whomping the throttle, and I thought it was the other guy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm watching her video, and I'm like, was that you? And she's like, well, Dad, I was out in front of him. I'm like, what are you doing? And, but
got me the light.
But
that's fun.
She did her job.
Yeah.
It's her race. She's got to do that. To whereas when you're in my position, if you're whomping the throttle, that's because you're blowing the tires off, and it's probably over anyway. So, but nah, Jim, it was ultimate dream. It was cool. It happened. The only neater thing could have been, and we had the potential of doing it ourselves, is both of us winning in the same night. And I believe that dream is still there, and it can happen. But
that's coming, man. That's coming down the road. Yeah, I can tell. That's in front of you right now.
Yeah. So
How many races have you had right now? I mean, how many races have you run?
For this season, that was my second race.
Yeah.
Second race. And how many years have you been doing this now?
I've done it since I was 16, so about 6 years.
There you go.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And when did she first start showing signs that she wanted to be around Dad, Jay, and do this kind of stuff?
When she was in a sling, because she was always out in the garage with me because she didn't have a choice. I'd be like, hey, can you come out here and run the jack so I can pull this motor out, you know? So unfortunately, you know, she was always out in the garage with me, but, you know, whether it's a male, female thing, it doesn't matter, man.
No.
You know, and it's just cool, you know, to have this relationship. And she gets in there. I mean, just like I told you the one time when we was tearing my car apart. I mean, dude, we started out at 6 o'clock at night, and at 2 in the morning, you know, she's like, Dad, what do you need me to do? I'm like, get that rear end tore apart, dude. I'm still putting all this together, and she started slinging axles and stuff, you know. But that's what everybody needs to understand. I mean, Emily does take care of her car. She changes the oil if the tires need changed, whatever. She's there. I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, because she's got to learn if she's going to be in this sport. You got to have a driver that can talk to you. And, you know, that was one thing that me and my brother, when we got into these hot rods together, you know, there's 7 years between us. And I got to climb into this 9-second car back in the day. And, dude, that was fast back in the day.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, well, it's popping. What's it doing? I'm like, I don't know, dude. You know, and I didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
And now the flip side of it is now that I'm into the car as heavy as I am and tuning on it and chassis, now it gives us that rotation that we can talk and we can look at data, and it's the same way with Emily.
Yeah.
You know, what's it doing? Okay. And then if there's a problem, she comes back and tells me, okay, let's address it.
Yeah, right.
Well, I finally found some issues with her car, and after I started messing with the computer a little bit, and then I got it cleaned back up, and then all of a sudden we're off and running again. And we was fighting that computer a little bit with her car, and I couldn't find it, and I finally did. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, It is pretty amazing. All right, we've got to pay some bills, man. We're at about 24 minutes after 12 o'clock right now on the throttle. I have the Racing Trissels with me right now. How's that? Emily and Jay, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more with them after this time out on the throttle.
Northwest Ohio's largest trailer dealer.
Zach, he's like, you sound nervous.
You got a little quiver in your voice.
That's fun. That's a piece of cake. Just a piece of cake. No problem whatsoever. Well, we'll get a little more into like her background, what she's doing right now, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Get a little feel for where you guys are doing, doing the rest of the summer. If you got anything left to do here, and where you're going, what you're doing, all that kind of stuff.
Why ain't so sure she ain't talking about taking the car to? Are you still taking it 9 under fire?
That's if you will let me.
Don't mind me.
I would like to. I'd like to try that again.
That's amazing, though, dude.
Where's this at?
Night of Thunder.
Night Under Fire at
Night Under
Norwalk.
Fire.
Okay.
I mean, you turn the corner and there's 100,000 people staring at you.
Oh wow,
Boy,
there you go.
it's
And it's where? Where's that at?
Norwalk, Ohio.
Norwalk.
yeah, at their big Night Under Fire.
Yeah.
Summit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
When is that?
August 11th. August 11th. Zach was like, Lucas was excited to hear you guys.
How's he listening? Internet?
Mhm.
Oh, he's in England.
Really? Yeah.
That's
that cool?
stepbrother. He's in England in the Air Force listening. That's awesome.
Well, you can do some shout outs if you want to. Here we go.
And it's done economically. So from my perspective, why wouldn't you? At Suburban.
And also one of our sponsors today, Keck Lawn Care. And if you're looking for somebody to help cut your grass, trim your bushes, and do some landscaping around your house, think about Keck Lawn Services. And Dwayne didn't leave me numbers, but I'll get a number here. We'll put that out. Without Dwayne here, you know, that's the one thing we didn't say when we started this whole thing, because you know, he's just a minor part of the program.
Yeah, just a minor. Yeah. Getting
Yeah.
Getting a simple phone call, hey, bud, can you run the radio show for me? Hey, thanks, bud.
And he's sitting in Mexico. If you're wondering about Dwayne right now, so far we've not heard anything from the Mexican government. Okay, that would lead us to believe that he's not going to be back home sometime this week. But,
Right.
you know, there are times with Dwayne, he might be in a spot where he can't make a phone call.
Very possibility, buddy. I hope he's having a good time.
I am too, man. From the pictures I've seen on Facebook, he seems like he's having a good time. Jay and Emily Trissel with me here today. Dad and his daughter, and they are the racing team that we've been talking about, because Jay's been on a couple different times, and he's bragged about you, Emily, every time he's come on, man. And then when you went out at that night and had that win, I know that just probably, you know, made your dream come true.
It
made
honestly
his dream
did.
come true as well at the
It
same
really did.
time. We got a couple people listening out there. Why don't you do a shout out for the couple of folks who are out there listening to you right now?
So my brother in England, hi, Rachel, Zach, and Lucas. I miss you and can't wait to see you guys.
There you go. All right, guys, what's left for the rest of the summer in drag racing for the Trissels?
Well, I know Em's got to go back to college, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She's with us this week, and then next week she's got to go back. But go ahead.
So I go to the University of Findlay. I'm in my master's program for athletic training for one more year. But I do like clinical rotations at different high schools or colleges and get experience in that. But that's kind of what I'll be doing kind of for the next year or so. But if where I want to get put for this rotation, hopefully I'll still be able to have a racing season. Last year, not so much. I got put with the football team at the University of Findlay, and I got to be able to travel with the team, which was a really cool experience. We went to playoffs and all that, so that was pretty neat to experience. But hopefully get to high school rotation this year and make Beth of both worlds of getting my experience at the high school and then hopefully some more racing also.
Yeah. Smart and a racer, too.
That's a dangerous thing.
How did that ever come about?
I'm just kind of hoping she gets with one of them big league kind of things because, you know, we need sponsorship, big guy.
Em, if you get a chance, what would you like to see happen before the summer's over, racing-wise, for you?
I'm more than likely to see my dad race more. We haven't had that bonding time like we used to before I went to college, so if I could just get more time with him and spend time with his car and whatnot, because hopefully someday that mistress will be mine. But if I can just keep going some more races and just getting that experience and proving that to myself that I can keep going more rounds and whatnot, that would be awesome.
Wow. And Jay, what do you, as kind of her coach and her mentor, what would you like to see her do the rest of the summer?
Well, we definitely want to try to keep her in the car because anybody knows out there that it's routine.
Yeah.
You keep them on the track, you keep the momentum going, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
So, that's the biggest thing now, and that's why we was trying to get back in and try to go racing, but Mother Nature, we needed to rain. I'm not complaining, so, we still got plenty of time left. We got her whole life left,
Oh, sure.
But it was it's so cool just to have this opportunity. And, Adam Hudson that puts on that race at Muncie, he's a younger guy, and he's just full of energy. I mean, this guy's a Fruit Loop, man. But but he's super cool, And these were supposed to be all streetcar stuff, And I told Adam, I was like, dude, I'm really kind of behind. And they're supposed to have, turn signals, horn, all that. Well, it's got mufflers, and I got a title and registration, all that. But now we got turn signals, a horn. I don't think Ma was real impressed with seeing them getting shipped in, going, so you're putting us on the street? And I'm like, well, no, but, and just like Emily talking about running the mistress, that card's a different animal, and that's where the dad thing comes out in me. Kind of gives me the jitters a little bit, because that thing's a handful, and I mean even for me. And but progressively, we're staring at some different options right now coming up. I would like to someday step into something a little, something that can handle the horsepower that I have.
Yeah.
And actually, I would love to put a small block back in the car and let Emily run it, because there's a lot of big payouts in that small block stuff. And, you know, you never know what you have until you get rid of it. And at the time, I really did have a pretty bad dude as a small block. And, you know, we won a championship and stuff with that. But, you know, as I stare at my belly right now, you know, not saying that I'm completely a walking donut, but... You know, weight is time, and if I put him in that hot rod, you know, but I think that time's coming. You know,
two options, man. You can lose weight, or you can put him in there.
Yeah, so I think we'll try him, and that'll give me a reason to step up maybe again. So
that's funny.
You know, but our careers are you know, and that's one thing I'm blessed with him. I hope her career comes successfully, and she's got another year of a lot of work to do to make this happen, and hopefully something comes well from that. But you know, we got the rest of our lives, dude, and that's what's really cool about this, and that goes with any family teams. And there's so many racing teams around the area, and we're just fortunate enough to come in and talk about it. But there's some stellar drivers out there. You know, once again, that's what's cool that you and Dwayne do. You know, all the local people don't realize what's in our backyard. You know, and for guys. Yeah, it's not a full-time job. Is it a dream? Yeah, it's always a dream, but sometimes they come true, you know, and I've got to run that dream, and now Em gets a chance to run it, you know, and that's what it's about, as long as it's all respectful. And Em's been very respectful. She helps and works on that car. She works hard. She kept her grades up, you know, and that's all I can ask for. You know, I'm just the type of guy that nothing was given to us, and, you know, we was always helped out along the way, but nothing's for free, you know. And that's the only way you're going to learn.
And that's a good way to learn. There's no doubt about that, Jay.
Right.
All right, for your side, you know, what do you have planned now as Jay Trissel, and trying to make that attempt to live up to the high standards that your daughter has set?
Yeah, no kidding, man. I'm like behind schedule here. So, Sherm Baker, part of the Ohio Outlaws, called me, and we're good friends, and Sherm helps me out a lot with the car and does a lot. You know, and we try to work together a little bit, you know, and he called me up, and he was putting together a 6-car team. So coming up August 18th, I believe, or the 21st, somewhere in there. Yeah. We're actually going down to Marion County. So it's a 6-car team. There's 3 big tires, 3 little tires. We're pulling together. And it's basically, we're running, I think Sherm said there was 5 or 6 other teams showing up.
Okay.
So it'd be like us and, you know, somebody from down south. You know, everybody's, I don't know how they're all calling themselves.
Sure.
But the cool part is I get to hang out with some of the Ohio Outlaws, street outlaw guys. So that's kind of exciting, man. I'm pretty pumped with that. And then that weekend, after Saturday night, then Sherm goes and races at Killcare against the Canadian Outlaws.
Okay.
But then they have a small tire deal again, but this is a no prep deal. I'm going to try this no prep deal with the little tires. I'm not sure how that's all going to work out. But we have that, and then the next week we go to Milan at Mayhem. That's a big deal. That's a $20,000 purse. We're on 28s, and you want to talk about the baddest of the bad coming.
Yeah.
That's the baddest of the bad. That's like going to Bowling Green, only I think it's going to be 10 times worse, man. I mean, there's some stellar cars coming.
Really?
Yeah, and when you're running for 20 grand, they ain't no joke.
Yeah.
That's going to bring out the best. So, you know, just going to have to kind of see and weigh it out and see what happens, and hopefully we keep the Pistons in it, because I know that's what Sherm always laughs at me. He's like, it's not everybody around you, it's you I have to control to keep yourself, you know, because I always got a certain thing that I think that we have to run, and we don't have to do that, you know, and a lot of times and that's what happened at Muncie. You know, we was trying to race the track. We couldn't get down Friday night. We put our pride away Saturday morning. And we started changing it. We took a bunch of power out, and the darn car still ran fair.
Yeah.
And you know, but then I get to looking at all this data, and I make my decisions, and the track kind of went away on us. And it is, you know, that's racing though.
Yeah.
That's what makes it cool. You know, it's not about just horsepower and everything you got. It's about knowledge, and you got to make the decisions, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. You know.
Yeah.
But, you know, we was in the same conditions, and I was watching NHRA, and they had the same problems. And there you're paying crew chiefs. You know, there's the best paid in the world, and they were still making the same mistakes we are. You know, they got to race the track, and that's why I love this sport so much. You know, you never know what's going to happen. It's not about the guy next to you. It's about you going A to B, and if you can attempt to do that, why, you got a 50-50 shot of winning that.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You know?
Em, do you ever see yourself driving in circles?
No, honestly. No, I'm all drag strip.
Straight line only, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I got you. All right, well, that makes a lot of sense. I've got Emily and Jay Trissel with me right now. We need to step away one more time to pay the bills. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on at AJ Door this weekend as well, and maybe also throw a couple names out there of some of the local racers in your world that are doing extremely well. It's about 23 minutes before 1 o'clock here on the Q. You're on the throttle.
Ohio's largest trailer dealer.
We don't want to just sell you a vehicle today. We want you to be a customer for life.
And we're back here in our final stage here of On the Throttle. And I know you guys have an awful lot of nice ties with Brian Ford, too.
Absolutely, yes.
You've got a pretty good partner with Fast Forward Motorsports. And how's that going, too, Jay? Let's talk about that for just a minute.
Yeah, so that's still going good. Me and Cy over there, we partnered up there for Fast Forward Motorsports, and that includes the dyno.
Yeah.
We've been a little busy this summer. You know, and where we get hot and heavy is a lot in the springtime is when it gets real hot and heavy, but the phone started blowing up again, so that's all good, going good. And, you know, and even Chipwood, he always brings the car show. He's been amazing with me and my company, and, you know, I can't say enough good about Chip and everybody at Brian Ford either. You know, those guys have been great, and they always bring something cool over to the car show, so, you know, there's a perfect way to come over, and, maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we're definitely going to, but I got to pat Chip on the back, too, because I'll tell you what, there's not a guy that puts in more time and does more good for this area than Chip Wood does on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
Man. But yeah, let's get to that thing, because this weekend I'm looking forward to it. You've got your big celebration,
annual open house. Yep.
And I know you've been selling doors here all month long because you got specials all month long.
Well, and it's been pretty crazy.
That's been pretty crazy, like it normally is.
Yeah. So
but, this weekend, man, it all kind of gets crazy to another level, kind of crazy on steroids.
Yeah. Well, it's always kind of cool because, you know, in my line of business, we take the phone calls during the day, and I really don't get to see the customer. Mm-hmm. You know, so this gives us an opportunity, you know, and I started this back in 2004, and I remember, Jim, we had like 15 cars, you know, show up, and it was just kind of one of them crazy deals, and it was cool, and the next year kept going and going and going, and then the ultimate year was a couple years ago when we had our 20th anniversary. You know, we had the headhunters out there, and there's probably 900 people or more out there. And then the next day we had a car show, and last year I think we had 130 some cars show up, and
Yeah, that was amazing.
there was a line a mile long to eat, you know. And so what's coming up, and I'll just kind of throw myself into there, where I take over the microphone again.
Yeah, go for it.
So Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning till we usually try to wrap everybody up by 2 because everybody's busy, and that's what's cool about this show. But we have a car show. It costs nothing to enter. We are doing the top 10 this year.
Okay.
So meaning top 10 cars are going to get awarded trophies. We also give away People's Choice, which that's a $100 bill to the best car that they choose of.
Okay.
Also give away a trophy class for the bike, best bike, and we did one for me because I get so busy and I try to walk around and thank everybody, and so what gives me the time to walk around is I do a trophy myself to, you know, guys that come out, and you know, and I'll go through the car show. So that all starts at 8, like I said, goes through, you know, 1 o'clock we start doing giveaways. We also give away up to an $800 door that day.
Yeah.
We do the hog roast, and the hog's just great. We got corn from Manival. We got our beans, you know, cake, cookies. It's like a swarm of bees, but, you know, it's great. I get to see people, and it doesn't matter if you're past or prior, even if you're not a customer. It's all about coming out and enjoying the day, seeing what's there.
Yeah.
I got Joe Vasquez getting fired up at 10 o'clock in the morning, so, you know, surrounding neighbors, apologize, but it's going to be noisy for a while.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Good
so...
noise, man.
You know, and what's cool is it's just not a car show, and this is what's cool about this, and what I mean by that is I got truck pullers, I've got mini rods, I've got junior dragsters. You know, if it's got a gas pedal, man, bring it. I don't care. We don't care. It's all about the fun. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And just hanging out. We got some beautiful doors on display, and the biggest thing is, you know, we are doing some terrific deals, and that's what makes this thing so special. And I got reps coming up from CHI that helps us out, and you know, it's all about beating me up and seeing what we can do, and you know, but it's just a great day to intertwine with everybody and see everybody again, and you know, and it's amazing the cars that we get. You know, I got them coming from Bowling Green and Fort Wayne and down south and from Michigan, and you know, that's just awesome. You know, and then everybody surrounding that comes over from the surrounding areas. So it's just, like I said, doesn't cost nothing other than a little fuel in the hot rod, and bring her on over and see what we got and hang out and have some fun. And you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there. We're going to do some live Facebook cutaways here and some live reports on the queue. But the Facebook stuff's what we've had a lot of fun with. I mean, we were over at Wasion last week, and it really is amazing. You get 1,400 people to look at pictures of cars. Or watch an interview. So it's a hot topic, especially around us, and we're going to be doing Facebook Live reports with videos and interviews from a lot of the folks that are there that day from the AJ Door celebration, and I can't wait, man. You treat everybody well. It's going to be 77 degrees because that's just what they give you because you're such a nice guy.
Yeah, beautiful.
You're so good. It's going to be a beautiful day, and it's just going to be a wonderful day to bring the cars out and show them off and get, because I know, can you still do this? I mean, you have special pricing at this time with doors, and I know last year when we talked about it, even though you weren't ready for the door quite yet, right now, you had the ability to lock in some pricing now and then do the deal here a month or two from now? Yeah,
and that's what's real cool and special about this whole deal, because, you know, obviously with the increase in price and steel and everything is going up, and CHI's always give us this opportunity to work with us. And, you know, it's increased us in the manner that we needed to go, and I just never knew it'd be this big, you know. And but, yeah, that's the great thing, and that's our biggest motto right now, you know. Hey, if you can't make it, or you're too busy, or let's say the project ain't ready, it doesn't matter. You can give us a call at 419-924-5533, and we can get everything rolled up, get it locked in, you know. And then if that project's coming in September, October, December, because I know right now everybody's behind in the commercial world. I mean, anybody that's building and stuff, it's great. The economy looks good on our side, you know. As far as being busy, you know, it's fantastic. So that's what this show's all about, and saving everybody money, and you know, it's just a great thing to do. And the open house is a give back from me and my guys, and that's true from the heart, you know, and it has been, and I always told the guys that too. You know, if there's a day that we ever got greedy or whatever, we might as well shut the doors. Because me or the guys there that worked there, we're all in the same boat, you know. And couple different generations now. We're starting to get a couple years apart, but everybody has the same mentality. And, you know, them guys work so hard for me. And they're such polite, good guys. And, yeah, I can't never say enough about them. You know,
great crew, man.
Yeah, I do. I've been very blessed, Jim. I'm telling you, without them guys, it's just not me running the show. You know, it takes everybody. Yeah. But I'm blessed enough to be yakking with you right now. I'm skipping my lunch.
Well, we appreciate you both being here with us today, and as we're getting to the end of On the Throttle here today. And Emily, I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, it was great.
It was really fun to meet you and put a face to a name and a person.
I know, finally.
A couple years ago when your dad started talking about you and everything and where you're going. And good luck to you with everything. I mean, I know you're doing well in school, so one of these days down the road, man, you're going to have to take care of this guy.
I know.
We're setting you up for it. You know?
I'm gonna have a wheelchair with a bottle rocket on it. You know.
Yep, he's going to be in adult diapers because you were in diapers when he took care of you, so he can make that claim at that point in time. But he'll have bottle rockets and everything else that you didn't have.
I believe that too.
So factor that in when he starts to ask you for those favors at that point in time. Jay and Emily Trissel, thanks, man, for being here today.
So much.
Going to wrap up On the Throttle today, and don't forget about the open house this Saturday at AJ Door. We're going to be there for the car show. Everything starts at about 8 o'clock in the morning, goes to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There'll be fun, there'll be food, there'll be all kinds of things, great specials if you're looking for a garage door for your house, your business, wherever it might be. Now is the time to lock in the pricing. This Saturday out at the sale, or just pick up the phone anytime this week and book it up this week. They can take care of you there. That'll do it for us on the Throttle today. All brought to you by your Napa store here in Bryan, Suburban Auto, AJ Door, Bryan Ford Lincoln, Jason Dietz Customs Collisions Trailer Repair, Fast Forward Motorsports, and also our buddies at Keck Lawn Service today as well. So if you enjoy the product and that we're putting on every Monday here right after the noon news, go out and support our sponsors, will you? Because without them, we wouldn't be on the air as well. We do it every week right after the noon news right here on the all-new Q96.5 FM. Got to work our way towards the top of the hour when we'll close the doors to the Dome on a Monday. Cool.
Yeah, baby.